Hey guys, LevelCap here, and this week in gaming, players have some mixed feedback about Battlefield 5's new team balancer. Valve came under fire for having a toxic workplace culture. Mods for Jedi Fallen Order are getting fans of The Mandalorian excited, and much more. DICE introduced a new team balancing system in Battlefield 5 for the Breakthrough Game Mode. It will analyze the match's health and shuffle players around to new servers at the end of a round. It's a bit confusing as to why DICE are doing this for Battlefield 5 considering it's not getting any new content updates, but it seems like they're doing it more as a test for Battlefield 6 than anything else. As for how the system is going over with players, it's something of a mixed bag. Some players are frustrated that doing well in a match means that they could be moved to a new server. Others don't like missing out on the next map in a rotation or having to replay the same map over again. And many are concerned that the new team balancer is essentially a skill-based matchmaking system. Battlefield has traditionally felt very random in its matchmaking. That's mainly due to all the Battlefield games having server browsers, which lets players bypass automated matchmaking. That can be problematic in such a team-based game like Battlefield. If your teammates aren't good at the game or willing to play as a squad, it's going to be much harder to win a match. But the lack of a clear skill-based matchmaking system also gives Battlefield that feeling that anything can happen in any game. So the addition of a team balancer is problematic for some players that enjoy the random sandbox nature of Battlefield. Overall, I think it's clear that this is just a test and shouldn't be taken as a final product. DICE will be analyzing the data gathered this week. They'll report their findings next week. If things look positive, you can expect expanded testing and maybe the team balancer being added to more modes. If things aren't going well, DICE will likely revise the system or disable it for future development passes. Either way, I think it's good that DICE are at least considering how matchmaking works for future Battlefield titles. As long as we ultimately still have a server browser, I think whatever DICE ends up doing will still fit with Battlefield's sandbox nature. Valve's workplace culture has allegedly been a bit divisive in the past. They're set up so employees can migrate from one project to another pretty much whenever they want, which means that if you want to get something done at Valve, you have to convince enough people to join the team working on that project. That's a big part of why stuff like Half-Life 3, the Source 2 port of CSGO, and other big projects can actually take so long. One former employee recently shared his experiences working at Valve and the frustrations he faced. Richard Geldreich worked on the Source 2 dev team and recently called it an almost total waste of time and energy. He explains that many of the features and goals of the project were basically copy-pasted from other engines. He also claims employees at Valve would work on a project, then leave it when things got complicated or challenging. Geldreich spoke specifically about the Source 2 CSGO port as well. Despite Dota 2 getting a major Source 2 update in recent years, CSGO has only received individual Source 2 features like the Panorama UI. Geldreich says that this is because CSGO's code is an ancient mess that's hard to modify. He also says that the developers working on the game refuse to do anything unless it's absolutely critical. Considering CSGO is a highly polished esports title that could fundamentally change just by tweaking the wrong weapon or value, it makes sense that the devs would be hesitant to do anything significant with it. But it also sounds very frustrating for employees working at Valve that want to work on a new and innovative project. Innovation is what set Valve apart back in their Portal and Half-Life golden years. Whether that prior innovation has been stifled or Geldreich is just one frustrated dev with ambitions beyond his employer's goals is hard to say. His appraisal of Valve's workplace culture echoes concerns from other former employees. So maybe Valve does have a problem. Fans of The Mandalorian will be happy to hear that new mods are available for Star Wars Jedi Fallen Order that turns the game's main character into Mando himself. Right now, the mod is purely cosmetic, so Mando's arsenal is limited to a lightsaber and force powers, but the mod devs are working on getting his blaster, jetpack, and flamethrower working. There's also a Stormtrooper voice pack mod players can install that makes the game's main character sound more like a bounty hunter. The mod community for Fallen Order has been surprisingly healthy given the limitations of working within the official mod tools. I don't think we'll ever see a total conversion mod or anything like that for the game, but I fully expect a proper character replacement system in due time if this Mandalorian project is anything to go off of. Watch Dogs Legion's multiplayer has been delayed until next year. It was supposed to launch next month, but a variety of major bugs have been cropped up that need to be sorted out first. These include corrupted save files, hard crashes, performance issues, and more. Ubisoft are focusing on getting those technical issues sorted out before introducing a significant new system that will likely add some problems of its own to the mix. The delay is unfortunate, but also sounds like the right thing to do. Apex Legends just got its annual holiday update that adds some Christmas-themed content to the World's Edge map. While that's exciting news, it really just means there are some new cosmetics in store. What's more interesting is the developers are finally working on a Mark All as Seen button for cosmetic unlocks. Right now, every time you unlock something, a little notification is added to the relevant tab in the game's main menu. Tracking down each notification can drive the OCD among us quite insane. It's a nice quality of life update and should launch sometime after the Christmas season ends. Scalpers on eBay took things to a whole new level this year thanks to the pandemic and hype from new hardware driving demand through the roof and causing massive supply shortages. It's gotten so bad, countless listings have popped up just for empty boxes or printed photographs of the PlayStation 5, Xbox Series X, GPUs, and more. eBay have finally started cracking down on these transactions that would often scam people for hundreds of dollars, if not more. The company is trying to remove any such listings, but there are hundreds of new ones popping up every day. For tech enthusiasts, 2020 has been the year of the scalper. Many companies like Best Buy, Newegg, Amazon were caught unprepared for the legions of bots scooping up inventory. One scalper has even boasted about nabbing 3,500 PlayStation 5s. That's more than Sony even supplied many retailers directly. Aside from convincing scalpers to stop scalping, it seems the only solution to the problem is for us to all be a little more patient and not feed into their business model. 20 minutes of Cyberpunk 2077 gameplay was leaked by someone with access to a physical copy of the game. While the footage itself is nothing particularly special and doesn't show off anything we haven't already seen, it's a pretty good confirmation that the game might actually launch on December 10th without any further delays. Cyberpunk has been delayed multiple times by the developers, causing lots of gamer rage. That said, I don't think I could be any more excited for the game than I already am. Fingers crossed there are no more big delays. Red Dead Online is going standalone on December 1st. The online component of Red Dead Redemption 2 isn't nearly as popular as GTA Online, leading many to speculate that Rockstar is desperate to get more players on board. But it's questionable as to what kind of impact that move will have for the game's long-term popularity. Heck, even covering the news of this event has been difficult for me as Rockstar's parent company, Take-Two Interactive, automatically copyright claims any video that uses the game's trailer. That's why you're seeing a slideshow of stills right now instead of gameplay. In our final story this week, Destiny 2's Trials of Osiris have been delayed again. Trials used to be weekly Crucible tournaments that players could compete in to unlock high-value loot. With Destiny 2's Beyond Light update, Bungie promised the returns of Trials, but so far they've had to delay its launch. This is particularly frustrating for endgame players looking to get the best loot, as Trials has some exclusive drops you can't get otherwise. It was meant to go live this week, but a new game-breaking exploit was discovered that Bungie wants to fix before setting their highest level competitive PvP event live. And that wraps it up for this week in gaming. As always, guys, thank you so much for watching. Let me know what story you thought was the most interesting in the comments down below. Subscribe for more content like this. Leave a like if you enjoyed the episode, and I'll see you guys next time. This is LevelCap signing off.